Okay, this is part two of my border trip on August 30th. If you pause here, you can see the details. The day before, I'd come down from Highway 1 down to Highway 6, and this is from Highway 6 down to Highway 3. And it's kind of an important little segment because you can actually cut across BC through here. This is waking up in the morning in the sleepy town of Edgewood. And I'm pointing out the elevation here because I actually climb quite a bit on this route. On the left is Cemetery Road. Kind of ominous turn just before you hit the Worthington Forestry Service Road turn. It's just kind of tucked away and almost hidden in here. And then we'll get a bit of an update as to what's going on.
Okay, so it's Friday morning. I headed up this road last night, 17 kilometers, turned onto the Burrell Forest Road, and headed out there for maybe 20 kilometers, but I wasn't sure if I was on the right route, and yeah, my GPS went crazy. So back here this morning, gonna try her again.
Okay, and that sort of explains why I came back with my tail between my legs the night before. I just wasn't sure with the GPS if I was on the right track, and I actually didn't have a paper map or anything with me just to confirm, and of course no cell coverage or internet out there. So this is the beginning of the route. It's actually quite nice, quite scenic. As I was coming through here, though, I'd kind of thought maybe I'd spend the night at this bridge here. ioverlander.com has some information on it, but I knew I still would have to go back into town to get the intel. But anyway, that was the campsite. You go a little bit further, and then you make this turn here, and this is where you start to climb. And that's the reason I had pointed out the elevation of Edgewood, and I'll give a few updates along the way. But we started at the 460 meters, and we're just starting to climb here. And sorry about the voiceover. I just kind of want to share some of my thoughts as I was doing this. In the background, you'll hear me driving, shifting. Sometimes I'll come around corners, and I won't be on the gas. I'm just taking it easy because my goal traveling solo is to get safely to the other location. And I don't know if you noticed it there, but you'll see in some places on the left, lots of places where I could have pulled over to camp for the night. But like I said, I still at some point had to get into Edgewood to get the information as to where was I going to go the following day. Yeah, and so over here, last night I'd actually gone down to the left here and gone a little bit down that route and realized, I'm on the right route or wrong route. But then my GPS kind of went haywire, and then for the rest of this last night, I didn't know where I was. And in fact, right now, I'm just driving on the route that my GPS showed I'd been on the night before. This is kind of showing what a beautiful blue sky day it was. Still early in the morning, but every time you catch that little bit of sun, it's just nice and warm. You just know it's going to be a great day. Some of the road here is pretty rough, exposed rocks at the surface, and of course I've only got about 5 inches of ground clearance with this CB500X. And I've got cast rims, so I'm just being careful navigating my way through here. And of course I'm not seeing anybody, and that was pretty much the same as last night. Every time you hit one of these sharper corners, you're going to start climbing again and gaining some more elevation. Or you're coming down. It's one or the other, depending on which way you're going. And this just felt great to be out here. Again, just nobody out here at all. And then we're coming up to the turn here, and I think I give a bit of a narrative here, a bit of an update.
Okay, it's about 8:30 in the morning. Here's the turn to Burrell. I was here last night, about 13 hours ago. I got up to here and this name seemed to ring a bell, so I headed off that way. Have to see how far I actually got, but then my GPS stopped working. I got lost. I wasn't sure where I was. And so I turned around and went back to do some more intel. Anyway, I'm back here now. We're up over 1,200 meters and we're still climbing.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure you can go down that left route and make it to Grand Forks, but I opted for this route because it appeared as if there were two campsites along the route, and I knew I wouldn't make it all the way to Grand Forks, and I was going to have to stop somewhere last night. But this is now on the Burrell Creek Forest Service Road. And right off the bat, it's a little bit narrower. It's a little bit rougher than the earlier part of Worthington. And of course, time for another real-time update.
And last night when I was coming through here, I could see the marker signs were going down. So that seemed to be a good sign, assuming they were logging back out to somewhere at kilometer 0. Yeah, so we're up at 1,350 meters now, so it's gorgeous. I could have pushed through last night, but here we are today.
Yeah, so, once I got lost, it wanted me to take that blue route last night, which would have been hours to get to Grand Forks. And I just wanted to cut across on that red route. Yeah, and this just shows that, I've climbed, almost 1,000 meters by this point. And again, just taking it easy, but I think part of this is to kind of show people, hey, an average rider, solo, can make this Burrell Creek Road and do that nice cut across if they choose to go this route. You can see it's still a little bit rough.
I'm guessing this is as far as I got last night, because now my GPS knows that there's nothing out here. So I was following a blue track on my GPS. I assumed it knew there was a road here, but it doesn't. So it's just showing me my track from yesterday.
Anyway, so, by about kilometer 30, the road was definitely getting better, wider. So I think the most difficult part is from the kilometer 50 to the kilometer 30. And I'd almost made it, to kilometer 30, but not quite. and which is why I turned back. But then there's still the thing about the campsites and where are the campsites and where was I going to stay. And I kind of get, fooled every time. Every time I think I don't need to bring my camping chair with me because I'm going to be at a campsite. I don't bring the chair, and lo and behold, I'm not making it to a campsite. And it's a little bit more uncomfortable when you're just looking for a rock to sit on than actually having your nice Helinox swivel chair packed with you. So had I had the chair, now, that's an odd thing to go, that would change my planning, but in some ways it does, because you just want to be that little bit comfortable for your cooking. And so now, first vehicle I met, of course, was a semi. I think we're in about kilometer 8 or something. So I hadn't seen anybody, till this time. Very scenic. I like driving these type of roads. There's not a lot of difficulty there. Remote. Got to pay attention. Things are always great when there's cows around. I think that's a Corblund song or something. Now I came to kilometer 0 of the Burrell, and you can go right or left. Left, you get to the Granby Road to head south. So here I'm turning to the east. It's just a short segment to get over. But as I'm going this way, there was a road sign on the left, and I just thought I'd better go back and have a look at the road sign to try to better understand why I didn't see those campsites as I was coming down. I found them at one point, on Google when I had cell connection, but I just couldn't see quite how to get there. So yeah, this verified that turning up Burrell to get to Edgewood, there were the 2 campsites, but then I found the 2 campsites, and they're actually on the other side of the river. So I would have had to come south of them and wind my way back up, and again, there was no signage for it. So that would have pushed me a long ways to get to a campsite. I would have had to, in fact, come all the way down to here, and here right now on the right is where the campsite is, and so I would have got there at about 8:30 at night, I think, and sunset was at 8. So I would have got there in the dark, and maybe even slower, because my headlights aren't the greatest on the CB500X, and when you're in those areas, you're generally traveling a little bit slower in the dark. And now it's pretty much nice asphalt all the way to Grand Forks, popping into the sun, some nice scenery out by, kind of not a mountain's edge, but a nice hill's edge from time to time. And then this is coming down into Grand Forks and hitting the number 3, so making that cut across successfully. I turned left here, fueled up the tank. Rider at the station told me this was a great place for breakfast, and he said he goes there every time, and I just had a great brunch, so that was good. And in a short while I'll be on my way and actually on the border route, and that will feature in the next video. Thanks.